Hey everybody, hope you guys are all doing okay, and welcome back to our Might and Magic VII completionist run. In this episode, we've got a bunch of things to do. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna sell this loot, because we're gonna need a lot of free inventory space for the second thing that we're gonna do. And you know what? I'm just gonna drop to the ground. The reason I'm hemming and hawing and hesitating is because I want to sell my loot, and I was like, should I go to one of the other towns? Because technically it isn't 6 p.m. yet, and like make a mad dash to the stores and sell it there, or should I wait for 6 p.m. here in Mount Nyon? And you know what, just for the sake of simplicity, let's just elapse a bit of time, or cause some time to elapse, and then we'll go and sell our stuff in these shops. And
looking for something sharp?
obviously the stuff that we can't sell to this guy
A pleasure doing business with
will be sold at the magic shop. So let me load you up.
Going to have to get rid of something first.
Yeah, we've got quite a bit of loot taking up quite a bit of space, and it'll feel so nice once all of these items are taken care of. Okay,
Thank you very much.
and more stuff.
I hope you like our selection.
Getting quite a bit of money, close to 600,000. Of course,
Thank you very much.
a lot of that money is going to be taken right back out once we do our leveling, but at least for a while, we can feel a bit richer than perhaps we actually are. Hey, nice! First time I've gotten that enchantment that multiplies its value by 10. One of the few enchantments that has a multiplicative effect on the value of the item, rather than just adding a certain amount. Like most of them, if it's plus 12 endurance, for example, it'll just add 1200. Or if it's like off shielding, for example, it'll add a fixed amount. But this actually multiplies it. So it started out with a value of 500, and it's now 5000. Of course, it's most effective on items which start out with a high value, because then multiplying it by 10 gives you even more. But even on something, you know, like that's mid-tier in terms of value, it's still pretty decent. Still pretty decent. So 2 more weapons, 1 more piece of armor.
Looking for something sharp?
Oh, I didn't enchant that. I don't really care.
A pleasure doing business with you. I hope you like our selection.
Alright, sell this. I could have sold that in the magic shop as well.
Thank you very much.
You know what, it's okay. What else? These are all special items that I'm not going to sell, because I like to keep all of my items that have you know, special names and so on, like the Villain's Blade. And of course, any item of the dragon, even if I'm not going to keep it. Like, even if I'm not going to use it, I'll keep it just because they're nice. They're really rare. It's kind of like how in Diablo, even if you're not necessarily using a Zod rune, like you'd still keep it, right? Just because of how special the drop was. Alright. Although I think maybe Zod runes are actually useful now with the new update. I haven't checked out the rune words that were added earlier this year. I think a couple of them are.
Our enchantments are second to none.
A couple of them are making use of the Zod rune, but you know what? I think that's enough talk about Diablo. Fantastic game, fantastic game, but not a game that we're playing right now. So let's focus on the game
A pleasure doing business.
that we are playing, which is Might and Magic VII, and let's focus on what we're trying to accomplish in this episode. So the first small task was done, which is getting rid of our loot, and especially freeing up some space in Alexis's inventory. You'll know in a moment why space in her inventory in particular is important. Let me make sure that there aren't any little items here or there that I haven't... Oh yeah, this is that moonstone that we used our rock climbing skills to get from the volcano. So yeah, I'll hold on to that just for sentimental value. But yeah, looks like we're done with our selling. We're gonna go straight back into this maze. We're gonna go straight back. I'll loot this guy because he is not the one that we're safe scumming. Although,
Let's leave it behind.
oh man, imagine if that had turned out to be like a weapon of the dragon. How epic would that have been? But sadly, no. Like, if it's a good enchantment, but not the one that I want. Oop, that went the wrong way. I need to go right before I can go left. I need to... now, for real, do my save scumming. And yeah, that was our last episode save. This is going to be our save for this episode. So, the way it's going to happen is basically over and over again. I'm going to loot these guys, see what sort of
That's
axes I get. And if I get a Minotaur axe of the dragon, then that is mission accomplished for this part of the episode. One thing to keep in mind is that one of these Minotaurs is scripted to give us this special item, which is simply called the Minotaur's Axe. And all it does is, its stats are actually quite a bit better. It's 4d3 instead of 4d2. It's plus 12 instead of plus 11 on both attack and damage bonuses, and it gives plus 25 might as an extra bonus. So, decent item. Decent item, but I would much rather have one of the dragon. Now, unfortunately, because he's gonna give us that axe every time, when I'm looking at what loot I get, this axe is always going to be the same. Like, it can never be anything else. So it'll always seem like I have more chances than I actually do. Because if I, get 3 axes, for example. This time we got unlucky. Not even a single one of the unidentified, axes with random enchantments spawned for us. All we got was a 2-handed axe that I don't need. But for instance, if I found 3 axes, I would know like one of them is this one. So really, it would only be 2 axes that are of interest, so on and so forth. Initially, I thought that I would skip this save scumming, but I think I'm actually gonna show it all on camera to give you a sense of how long a process like this can take.
Let's leave it behind. Let's leave it behind.
Now, it's kind of similar to...
That's it?
We got 3 chances, but one of them was... Sorry, we got 2 chances. This one, as I mentioned, will always be this particular axe. One of the ones we got that could have been a Minotaur Axe of the Dragon ended up being unenchanted. The other one was off Earth. But yes, as I was saying, even though it's similar in concept, what I'm doing right now... Ooh!
Let's leave it behind.
Oh! We did it! We did it! Oh man, that feels so good. I was fully prepared to sit here for about 10 or 15 minutes. So which one of these is the... So this is the Minotaur's axe. And this, like, you can very easily confuse this with one of these unenchanted axes if you're not paying close attention. But yes, this Minotaur's axe is a special item that you're gonna hold on to. You know what? You should even hold on to the Villain's Blade if you got space. You do have space. You barely have space. So what I'll do is I'll put this there. Oh, no, I can't put that there. Okay, yeah, so... horseshoes, okay. Is there a way to kind of Tetris this more efficiently? What if I move these to someone else's inventory? What if I move these to your inventory? What if I move this up? Does that help me in any way? You know, it does literally nothing for me. You know what? Yeah, you can hold on to these. You hold on to these. It's neater this way anyway. What about... If I do this? No. That's gotta be that way. What I can do is maybe move everything one like this. There we go. Oh, come on. Oh my god. I want to move this to the end slot. Like, you see what I'm trying to do, right? I'm trying to move it so that this is at... So that this long weapon is at this slot. And that, this thing... hang on, something is... Wasn't I able to... So how... Hang on, how is this working? Okay, you can move one over there. There we go. Oh, so I had more space than I was looking at, because there can be a bit of overlap. It crosses over into this row in terms of the item's graphic. I'm talking now about the chainmail. But it doesn't actually take up that slot. So that was what was throwing me off in terms of me not understanding how much space I had. And this one, unfortunately, its graphic crosses over and it does use up that whole row. Okay, right. So now that we've solved that mystery, and now that our inventories are looking a bit cleaner, and now that we have our Minotaur axe off the dragon, this is another thing to sell. This is something that is unenchanted that I will enchant. And then we'll sell it. Sadly, not an antique enchantment, but like, we can't really complain. Like, we got this within a few minutes of trying. And to continue something that I started saying several minutes ago and that you've probably already forgotten about, is that the reason I was showing the grinding on screen was I wanted to give you a sense of how long something like this will take. And I chose this as something to show on screen because I was like, it could take a while, but because we're only looking for one thing, it shouldn't take hours and hours in the same way that when I was grinding for 13 different specific artifacts and relics. So now, before we give it to Zoltan, let's take a look at its stats. Plus 11 attack, plus 11 damage, those are the bonuses. Base damage of 42, and of course the bonus 10 to 20 is, and plus 25 might is the same bonus as this. So the only thing differentiating the two is, number one, their different base stats. So this one has a better bonus. This one has better base damage. The other thing differentiating them is the item type. So first of all, let's see what happens when I give it to you based on just just swapping it over. Let's see how the stats change. Well, you'll notice we gained 2 points of attack damage, 2 points of minimum attack damage. We lost 6 points of maximum damage. Now, that might seem like we're going kind of backwards, and we also gain 1 point of attack bonus, which is nice. It might seem like we're losing ground here, but you have to keep in mind, and at this point I'm going to save my game again. It might seem like we've gotten a bit of a downgrade there, but you have to keep in mind that Axe is one of those weapons which gains attack bonus, recovery time, and attack damage for every skill point you spend, compared to Sword, where all you gain is attack bonus and recovery time. The Master and Grandmaster levels, yes, you add to your armor class, I don't care about that, and the Master level just gives you a new ability, but doesn't get better by investing more points. So looking at the axe skill, let's take a look at what happens if we add a few points into it. Like if we raise it to 12. I mean, we should be gaining damage. Maybe it's not being registered properly. Maybe, hang on. Maybe we need to be only holding the axe. So 79 to 83, we put in 5 points. 84 to 88, yeah, that definitely went up. Equip that, even more damage. So what was going wrong the first time? Something strange is going on. So holding the axe, I gain damage. Equipping that does something weird to the stats. So maybe there's some unusual interaction when you're dual wielding different weapon types that I have no idea what's going on. I've got to be honest. I've got to be completely honest. In either event, it doesn't matter right now at this point, because I wasn't planning on investing any skill points into Axe right now anyway. We do know how, like, Arms Master definitely works properly. Yes, that definitely works. Okay. But to cut a long story short, the reason, if we were like single wielding, like let's say if we were comparing a two-handed sword to a two-handed axe, like this would be better because you gain damage from investing skill points as well compared to the sword where you don't. Even though it may possibly not be working correctly when you're dual wielding. It might also be that it is working correctly, but it just isn't showing up in the game's numbers. But either way, it's, you know what, it's fine. It's not like we need more damage. It just would have been nice if it was working properly. Can I put this there? No. I'll just have to put that down here. Can I put this there? No. Okay. So with that out of the way, it's one major objective we've ticked off our list for this episode. Oh, and the other reason I like it this way is just because I think characters look cooler when they're dual wielding different types of weapons, rather than just multiple, like 2 different swords, for example. So that's just an aesthetic choice, an aesthetic preference from my part. But if you prefer it differently, like maybe you think it looks cooler if they're both the same weapon, because that can be fine. Like Drizzt, like that, like the Dark Elf from you know, the Forgotten Realms universe. I think he dual wielded swords or something, right? And then you've got like Kratos with those blades of his. So yeah, it can look cool when it's 2 of the same thing, but I personally think it looks cooler when it's 2 different things. Alright, now unfortunately you know what? We don't have to accept that. We can just load our autosave and recharge our haste. Not that it matters, because we're about to do some training. In fact, yeah, I shouldn't have bothered with this. What we're going to do is we're going to go to Celeste. And I think the tavern is in the same place as the training hall. The same part of the map, yes. There we go. The Blessed Brew.
Come on in, have a drink. Hope you like it.
Oh. I think I got the food with someone who's other than Serena. That's okay.
Good night.
We just wasted a small amount of gold. That's fine. Now what we're going to do is we're going to train up our guys one by one.
Best training in the land. Brilliant. Best training in brilliant.
2,
Best train brilliant.
3,
Best brilliant. Best train brilliant.
1,
Best brilliant.
2,
Best brilliant.
3.
Best training brilliant.
And after
Best
a
training
third
brilliant.
round, I'm going to
Best train brilliant.
do
Best train
something,
brilliant. Best train brilliant.
which is, let me save my game in this slot now. Let me check. Yeah, our beacons are, it's gonna be pretty soon time to fix them up, but I'm gonna check. Has Evenmorn Island reset? Yes, it has. Yes, it has. Okay. So that's important. We need to go back to Celeste. We need to drop down, cast Flight, activate Flight in midair. I'll save in, yeah, this slot just in case I messed something up in between this and that one. And now we're gonna wait for you to recover. We're gonna save again. And now we're gonna recall our beacon. And if you've seen my earlier episodes, you know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to grind out the last couple of tests I need. Now, I've done all of the tests except for intellect and speed. So we're gonna keep going back to Evenmorn Island until this test, is either intellect or speed. It shouldn't take too long. 2 in 7 is not a... They're not, you know, atrociously low odds. And of course, the reason I knew the place had reset was because these enemies were dead, these enemies right in front of the beacon location, and I knew that if I came back to that location and if those enemies were then alive, then that must mean that the area has reset. The other reason you can tell that the area has reset is because this test, every time we go to it, is a different one. If the area had not reset, it would be the same thing as it was... didn't need to load a second time, but yeah, the test would be the same thing as it was the last time, and then it wouldn't be changing if you loaded the game and went back in. It would only change then if the area did indeed reset. So we need intellect or speed. One of the two. One of the two. Yeah. This is not luck. Just to confirm to you, this is what happens if you've already won a test. It tells you that you've already won, and then you can't do it anymore. Come on, game. I do not have all day. Personality, another one that we've already done. Just to show you, I'm not going to show you the ones that we've already done because you already know them. we've already had at least one instance on camera where we did it. Even if I have forgotten which episode specifically they might have been in. Might, also not what we need, only intellect or speed. Yeah, we're getting a little trolled by the RNG. A little bit, it's getting a little out of hand. But, you know what? I guess I can't really complain after the really good luck we had. Here we go. Oh no, not luck, we need speed. Like, I had luck on my mind, because I was just saying we shouldn't really complain after the good luck that we had with the Axe of the Dragon. Intellect is one of the ones we need, alright. So let's go ahead and do this. Oh, right, we've got to make sure our intellect is high enough by casting Day of the Gods. You know what, let's cast some Wizard Eye action. I don't want enemies bothering me while I'm doing this. Just get lost. Get wrecked. Get out of here. Go away. See you later. Who's this guy? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, now you need at least 100 of the stat in question to be able to beat the challenge. And you're allowed to reach that through, you know, like, you don't have to have a base stat of that value. You can enhance your stat by giving stat boosting items, stat boosting well effects, or in my case, stat boosting spell effects. Day of the Gods raising all of our stats by a huge amount, 100, like 100 flat at this point, and it'll get even better as we improve our light magic. So yeah, let's get our +7 skill points. Yeah, you've done that too. Fantastic. All right. And now we also have more skill points that we can spend on things. But before I spend my skill points, I want to do one thing. I want to check. Yeah, let's save in that one. I want to check, has Avli also reset? Avli has not reset because I don't see the horseshoes. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Well, I'll wait for you to recover. I'm going to go back to Celeste, and I'm going to do the rest of my training. And then we'll check if Avli has reset. Alright.
Best training in the land. Brilliant.
And if Avli has not reset,
Best train brilliant.
then
Best
we,
train brilliant.
you know, we're just gonna
Best training brilliant.
not worry about it.
Best train brilliant. Best train brilliant. Best train brilliant.
The reason I did it this way, the reason I didn't just train all the way the first time and then check both the Evenmorn Island and Avli is because I knew Evenmorn Island is on a shorter timer, and in case Avli hasn't reset, and in case Avli is on some weird super long timer where it just won't reset for a long time, I wanted to go into Evenmorn Island earlier to start its next reset cycle a bit sooner. Like, it's hard to explain what I mean, but like this way, we went to Evenmorn Island earlier and it had reset, and then we caused more time to elapse. So now it is closer to its own next reset cycle. So in case Avli... Oh, I think I messed up. Yeah, I messed up badly. I messed up because I didn't I didn't reset my beacons. So, of course, I'm gonna skip ahead to when that is all done. Alright, I'll see you when that's done, and then we're gonna go and we're gonna train again. Alright, see you guys in a bit. Alright, the final beacon has been set, so just give me a moment, and we're gonna go back to Celeste. Gonna do our training. And we're gonna... Oh no! We're gonna check Avli. You know what, I'll just portal back. I was thinking about loading my autosave, but I prefer when it's not too onerous, like if I make a mistake, to fix it via the remedies given to you in the game itself, rather than by loading save games every time. In this case, I just town portaled back after falling down, which was a mistake that I legitimately made, and then legitimately fixed via the in-game options available to me.
Best
Now,
training brilliant.
let's
Best trade brilliant.
do this,
Best trade brilliant.
do
Best trade
this,
Best trade brilliant.
this,
Best trade brilliant.
this,
Best trade brilliant.
this,
Best trade brilliant.
that. Okay. Now, saving the game again over this slot. Oh no, it's Avli is not a town portal destination, you doofus. It's a you just set the beacon and you've already forgotten. Alright, before I do anything, I wanna cast Wizard Eye. Because Wizard Eye is what's gonna let us know right away whether the map has reset. And now we beacon back. Our beacons, we've used up exactly half of their duration, it would seem. Let's go to Avli. 63 days, 63 more days have gone by, and this place has not reset. That's okay. That's fine. So what do we do with these spare points? Well, I guess I'm gonna keep putting them into Arms Master. 21 would put us below 60. I'll keep putting them into Arms Master. It'll be fine because Arms Master does raise our damage and our attack rating and everything. And you as well. Although for you, let me check your stats. 54 to 62. So you are getting a damage bonus when I put points into your relevant stat. Okay, you know what? That's fine. Let's not worry about that weird game mechanic that may or may not be bugged. Let's just put more points into water magic. This is going to make our beacons last even longer next time we reset them. And let's put more points into light magic. We can do one more. Fantastic. Now let's go back to Evenmorn Island, where the stuff is still... I killed these guys while I was setting my beacon. That's the only bit of combat I had while I was skipping stuff. So now, the reason we've come back to Evenmorn Island is because this is where we will find the last statuette that we need. I mentioned at the end of last episode that this episode we're going to be doing a bunch of chores, and this is the last chore that we need to do. Although before we do this chore, I want to check one thing. I want to check. Go to Castle Harmondale. Sadly, this is not the episode where we're going to explore this castle. One of these days, it's going to happen. I really should have cast Flight at some point. So, Harmondale has not reset. What about Erathia? have you reset? I don't think so. I think these are the stables and there are no horseshoes. Okay, so we won't get a chance to get our last contest done, unless Deja has reset. Maybe it has, maybe it hasn't, but I'm not too worried about that. So let's once again go back to Evenmorn Island and get this quest finally done. Let's cast our buffs. Come on. Cast Day of the Gods. Day of the Gods now giving us 130. Come on. Cast Day of Protection as well. This is going to be overkill for this area, but you know what? Let's just have some fun with this. This spell has a really long recovery time. Day of Protection was this one. Let's even cast Protection from Magic. Sadly, Torchlight isn't included in the suite of spells given to you by Day of Protection. How much? Oh, our haste is now close to 9 hours. That is great to see. Let's even cast Protection from Magic. I really want to know what this, hang on. Is it preservation? Is it preservation? This spirit magic spell. Less fate. No, it's not, because preservation shows up here. So what is it? What is that? Heroism. Fate? No, fate also shows up on like the individual characters. Like it doesn't have an icon for it, but this is where it shows up. I don't know. I don't know. Telepathy? No. Charm. Mind blast. No, like all the resistances are here, right? Yeah. And body. We've already looked at this. Cure poison, harm, power, heal. Regeneration also is per individual character. Day of the Gods, Hour of Power, Prismatic Light, Divine Intervention, Summon Elemental, maybe? Is this a... No, that's not it. Paralyzed, Dispel Magic, and of course, you've got a bunch of spells, but I don't think any of those... Like, there's a very clear, like, skull-looking icon. Ooh, wait, is it immolation? It is immolation. Man, this was this was bugging me for so long. Like what that last spell icon was, and I thought it must be a dark magic spell, but no, it's a spell that I never use, immolation. But you know what? We have all of the spell icons lit up, and so we can have some fun with that. Also, let's have some fun kicking some ass. Ooh, let's see our elemental do some stuff. I am already bored. You have fun there, you guys. We're gonna do this. Still the test of intellect that we just won, and this should be the Temple of the Moon. So somewhere here should be the Temple of the Sun, which is where the last is that it? Are you the place? No, you're just a house. So probably that is the Temple of the Sun. Should have just probably done this at the same time I did the Temple of the Moon, but for some reason I thought the statuette wouldn't be in there. I thought it would be in some other location. You know what? It's fine. It's all good. Yeah, sure. I'll see what's inside these chests. Even though we got all our training done, we still have more than 500,000 gold. That's pretty good. I don't think we're gonna be able to spend
That's it.
all this gold.
That's it.
We're getting
Let's leave it behind.
more as well.
That's it.
Yeah, there's gonna be no way for us to spend 500,000 gold. Excuse me? I'm trying to enter. Oh my god. This is a dumpster fire. But... Alright, let's kill these guys. Not that I intend on looting them, but I do want to kill them over land where they're... Oh, looks like the undead and the gargoyles are like fighting among each other. So that worked in our favor, I guess. So, like, where is the entrance to this place? Here it is. Here it is. And these jokers that caused us so much grief are back. They were pretty strong earlier when we were fighting them in the arena. But now, you know, things are a little different. We are just a wee bit stronger than when we first saw them. Once again, I'm just going to give stat boosts at random. I don't care who's getting what, although through sheer luck, intellect went to somebody who actually uses that skill,
Let's leave it behind.
that stat.
That's it.
Sure, I'll pick up anything that's, you know, above, let's say, 750. Who did that? Somebody hit me.
It's disarmed.
Here we go, knight statuette. If we so chose, we could be done with this area, like we could leave right now, but what would be the fun in that? Instead, let's individually click on each half of that door, and now let us continue killing these people. Like, they haven't like done anything to us. We are invading their home, their temple, their house, whatever this is. I don't know if they live here or if this is just a
That's it.
just like a place where they work, where they congregate. But either way, I mean, to be fair, like they could have also been a bit more polite when we showed up. Instead, they immediately tried to kill us. So I don't feel that bad, you know. If someone shows up, even if they show up uninvited, you know, like trying to kill them,
Let's leave it behind.
it's kind of rude to try and murder somebody just because they came inside your house. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just old-fashioned like that. Alright, come on. Obviously, some sort of trap is going to trigger. Can we avoid it? Can we jump over it? I guess we did. Just out of curiosity, though. Just out of curiosity, though, what was this trap? Fireball. That goes straight down. So if you're right at the edge of the wall, you can avoid it. Good to know. Alright. Let's kill some more dudes. Alright, very obvious secret door. I actually don't like the fact that the secret doors are marked. because I liked how... Okay, some sort of puzzle situation is happening. Before we deal with that, there's some guy in here. Let's take... And there's more stuff back there, although I think the enemies back there were on the upper level, where I'm not sure how to get to them. Alright, let's save over this thought. Was that literally the solution? Is that... Did I just
It's disarmed.
blindly stumble into it on the first attempt?
That's it? Let's leave it behind.
I'm actually... this is something to read. Temple of the Moon has dispatched an armed force to Nyan. Brothers in an attempt to stop. Made the sun... something something. Okay, whatever. Who knows what goes through the minds
Leave
of
it behind.
you know, the clergy or whatever these guys are. Never was much for religion myself. Okay. I want to look this out. Like, was that literally the solution? Like, only the leftmost thing lit up? Hang on, I've got to get my phone. Or is there like a part 2 to this puzzle? That surely can't be it. Like, I don't... Maybe it's it was some vestigial muscle memory that, let me pause the game. Maybe it was some muscle memory that even I didn't realize, but I was just gonna do a process of elimination kind of thing, and that was just where I happened to start. So let me see. This is the Grand Temple of the Sun. Grand Temple of the Sun. This one walkthrough doesn't even have that as a location, so it's not a very comprehensive walkthrough, which is fine, you know, as long as you know what you're getting out of it. Alright, let's see. Control F off the sun. Come on. Okay, so there are enemies off the sun, so I'm gonna have to do Grand Temple. There we go. Grand Temple of the Sun. Okay. Oh, right. Let's see. What? Oh. To the north of the altar is a secret door. The next door can only be opened by pushing in all 6 buttons on the side walls and then pushing in the button. So clearly something went wrong, because I only pushed in 1 button. Yes, something is definitely a bit funky with some of the I think some of the scripts are broken in this game.
It doesn't even hurt.
What are you guys doing? Okay, come on.
Ah, what a scratch.
Alright, now we need to figure out how to get to the upper level of this area. Is there... This looks like... Oh, here we go. Here's the staircase.
But I need it fixed.
Cleric of the Sun and There's gonna be some
Weakling.
monk over there. Priest of the Sun. Another Priest of the Sun. Now, one of these priests is gonna have a special item on him. Again, just allocating the stats at random. Are you the guy? Are you the guy? No. So I'm probably gonna have to loot all the corpses. Yeah, we'll take that. I'm gonna have to loot. Loot every single corpse. Is it you? No. By default, you don't even drop items, alright? Pretty sure we've killed everything in this area. It's a small enough area that it's also going to be easy to check and confirm that we've done exactly that. Alright. Just trigger that trap, I don't care because we know how to avoid it. Alright, come on. Just random piles of gold on the ground. And, oh, here we go. This is going to be the item. The Cloak of the Sun increases effect of all light magic spells. Well, we give you this glorious Cloak of Life. Instead, we're going to give you this Cloak of the Sun. There aren't any restrictions on it. It doesn't look like it. And give you that cloak. Looks very stylish indeed. You lose some stats, specifically the plus 10 hit points, but honestly, not really that big of a deal. Once again, these statues are oddly proportioned. This one's so much bigger than these two. But let's not worry about the statues right now. Instead, let me save my game. And let's make a note of one thing. So right now we're getting plus 130. Now if I cast Day of the Gods, I'm getting still plus 130. So maybe that isn't stacking. Let me try something else. What if I rest and then cast it? So it still isn't stacking. So this one, maybe it's only rings of light magic that stack, or maybe it only stacks one time. But either way, I'm gonna leave that cloak on her because, gosh darn it, it looks cool. Although I will load my game because I don't want to lose all my buffs for no reason. Now we need to go ahead and place these statuettes. And the shrines are in these 3 locations. In 2 of them, we already have our beacons set up. So let's go to Talia and remind ourselves where this shrine was. Was it down here, maybe? Maybe. That might be it. Yes, here we go. Shrine. And let's place the item. You've got all of them, right? Yes. So the bird statue goes into Talia. Now let's go to Avli. And the shrine was on one of the islands, I'm pretty sure. So we'll just go west until we see it. I think it was on the southern island, if I remember correctly. We'll find out very, very shortly. Enemies have respawned. Good for them. I don't really care. Just gonna kill a few of these on the way to this the shrine. We're gonna place the statuette.
It doesn't even hurt.
Yeah, that was a bit weird. I had to move back before it allowed me to interact with it to place the statuette. And the last one we were told is in Bacada, so we're just gonna beacon to Celeste and plunge down. And this one, I don't remember where it was. The Bacada Desert. We're in the Bacada Desert, but where in this desert? Like, what over here looks like it could be a shrine? Honestly, lots of things. While I'm flying, I'll pull it up on my phone and we'll see what happens first. Am I gonna look it up first, or am I gonna find it first? Of course, that also necessitates me looking at two things at once. Is this the shrine? No, this is an altar. Oh no, this is... Oh, it's the altar within the shrine. Yes, of course. So I guess I was able to find it. Didn't have to look that up. And now we have to go back to Lumbra in the Tularian Forest. This one, I can tell you, I will have to look up, because I have no idea where this guy is. Let me just open that up quickly as I can. The Tularian Forest, come on. Okay. Where... What? Lumbra was his name, hang on. Yeah. Oh god, it's not on this walkthrough. No. Hang on. So I'm gonna have to look up the other one. Hang on, just give me a moment. Give me a moment. So this is in... Where on the map? Sorry, this is taking so long, but this is what happens when you're relying on a walkthrough and then that walkthrough is missing the one detail that you happen to be needing at that time. Yeah, and it should be one of these houses. But there's some... Could be this house, I think. No. Okay, I think it might be above this. Could be this house. Is it this house? Here we go, Tom Lumbra. Hand in the quest. And he gave us... I missed how much gold he gave us, but it must have been a fair amount, because now we're nearly at 600,000. Are we able to level up? We can gain one more level, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go to Celeste. We're going to cash in this level right now. And then we're going to check Avli again. Because if we can get that done as well, then we'll have made legitimately quite a bit of progress. So one,
Best training, brilliant.
2,
Best train,
3,
brilliant. Best train, brilliant.
4. Alright, and what was I leveling up? Grandmaster, I think, is the way to go. With you... Sure... 15... Oh, and it puts you below... But I think 60 was more than we needed, so that's fine. With you, we'll hold off on that. With you, we can spend more points. And our beacons are still active. Yes, they are. No need to refresh them yet, although we'll keep in mind that they are getting close to being to their expiry date, is what I was trying to say. Okay. Nothing in Avli for us, so we can't get the final contest done. That's okay. That's okay. We still got quite a bit done. Let's just recap. We went to... First of all, we went back to the maze. We got ourselves a Minotaur Axe of the Dragon, the highest tier one-handed axe with my favorite enchantment on it. Such a great item. And then we went to the Temple of the Sun in Evenmorn Island. Well, before that, we got one of our tests done, the test of intellect. Now we only have one test and one contest left. A contest of personality and a test of speed, which I'm sure we'll get done the moment any of the places with either of those tests or contests reset. And yeah, we got that done. And then we got a bunch of training done. Put some items, put some skills into our, put some skill points into our useful skills. And then, of course, we handed in a pretty complicated quest. We had to pick up 3 statuettes from 3 different parts of the world and then place them on altars in 3 separate parts of the world and then go back to a dude. And that's finally out of the way, and I think that might actually have been our last side quest. If I am correct, from now on, the only form of quest progress we're going to make is the main quest, and we are into the end game. So there's not that much left. Quite a bit to do, but not that many individual quests, if that makes sense. So yeah, next episode, I think we are just going to dive into this. We're going to go into the... I think we can just walk into the Temple of Light whenever we want. That's fine. But the Temple of Dark, we're going to have to fight our way through and get the altar piece from there. And then we'll go back to Resurrectra. And then we'll see what that's all about. But yeah, that's the plan for the next episode. For now, I think it's time to call things to a close here. Hope you guys had a good time. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll join me in the next one. So until then, take care.